Hey, what's up guys? Deadly Bullets here, and with the new update of Division 2, the title
I can
update
get the
10,
smell
I
out.
got a new build for you guys. And I will start with the specialization. So I'm using the firewall. This is simply for the more 20% of burn duration. Um, of course, the medikits are awesome with 200 armor and 200 of health over 10 seconds. The health on kill it's not bad too, but is for this talent, this skill, this perk, 20% of burn duration, and when your armor breaks, enemies that are near will burn. And these status effects of this 20% of burn duration applies on this one too. So let's go through the build. This is a skill build,
Here you go.
status build,
Best gear in the city.
and
Come take a look.
I'm gonna show you some tips with this build. Let's go showing you the build. So this is a new Eclipse protocol gear set. This is a new gear set that comes with the new title update. I'm using 4 pieces with the Imperial Dynasty holster and iron gloves. Let's start with the weapons. I'm using the new assault rifle SIG 556 with the talent in sync. Hitting an enemy grants more 15% skill damage for 5 seconds. Using a skill or damaging an enemy with a skill grants more 15% weapon damage for 5 seconds. Damage increases are double while both buffs are active at the same time. What this means? This means that any of my skills that I'm using turret and sham launcher. The turret is hitting enemies, I'm shooting enemies, and my skills, my turret or my sham launcher will get a buff of 30% of skill damage, and my weapon as well. I'm gonna get more 30% of weapon damage for 5 seconds. This is active while I'm shooting on an NPCs. Now I will start with the mask. Like you can see, this Eclipse protocol 2 pieces give you more 15% of status effects. 3 pieces it gives you
Incoming
more
backup request.
15% skill haste and more 30% of hazard protection. I'm using 4 pieces. The 4 pieces gives you your status effects now spread to all on kill to all enemies within 15 meters and refresh for 50% of the duration. On my mask, I'm using skill tier. All my gear is based on skill tier, of course, with skill damage and a mod with skill haste. On my chest piece, I'm using skill tiers, status effects, and a mod with skill haste. On the chest piece, the talent gives you increases indirect transmission range for 15 meters to 20 meters and refresh percentage from 50 to 700 for 75% of refresh rates of the duration. On my holster, Imperial Dynasty for the burn on enemies that are closer to me of 20 meters, and all my gear is based on status effects and skill damage, so the burn will have the effect of my status effects of all my gear sets. With skill tier, status effects, and hazard protection, my backpack have status effects and again a slot of skill haste. The talent of the backpack is your status effect now spread on kill to all enemies hitting 15 meters, and the refresh for 50% of the duration. But the chest piece buffs the backpack talent. Like you can see, it increases for 15 to 20 meters, and the refresh percentage of 50% to 75%. My gloves are Ivan gloves that gives me more 10% of skill damage, and I have skill damage and skill haste on attributes, and my knee pads I got status effect. So I'm using the 5-star sham launcher. Like you can see, I'm hitting for burn, I'm hitting 231,000 of damage, but on the hit I hit with 522,000 of damage when it blows. I'm using a turret. It's the best skill to use when you're running solo on heroics or even on the group. So I have always a skill dealing damage to mobs, and I can always buff that damage with my assault rifle or my M1A with spike headshots grants more 20% skill damage for 15 seconds. I'm gonna show you very fast what this means. Well, let's put very hard all elites. Let's make them burn. This is gonna die and gonna spread to those, like you can see. And that's gonna die, it's gonna spread. I didn't die. But that's the thing. Every mob that kills it starts again of burning, and you're gonna refresh the burn. Like you can see, it spreads again. And I'm not even applying the buff. I can apply the buff and then it's even harder. Like you can see, 322,000 per second of burn damage. This build is very fun to use, man. And well guys, this is my build. Stay safe and I see you around, guys.